On the 11th of November in 2008, the next title in the Call of Duty game franchise was released, Call of Duty World at War. It wasn't long afterwards that the players came across a secret game mode after completing the main campaign. Of course, I'm talking about Call of Duty Zombies, a game mode that almost never came to be. Chairman of Treyarch, head of studio at the time, Mark Lamier, discovered on the second year of development that a small team within Treyarch had been prototyping a new mode, a round-based survival zombies mode, a mode that had gained popularity amongst the staff from many different departments. He gave this small team this list of reasons why working on this game mode was a bad idea, and it was at this moment that Mark had to make a choice. He could demand that they cease to develop this any further and get back to the main game, or he could let this risky game mode continue to push forward. But after trying it himself, he allowed it to continue development. Word spread around very quickly, and eventually it reached higher up. Many were actually opposed to this side project, and it was agreed it could be in the game, but only as an Easter egg, a bonus for completing the main game. There was to be no marketing or no announcement regarding its existence. Once discovered, it was immediately received well by players and was made available for everyone from the main menu. Zombies was born out of love. Love for the developers, love for the players, and love for the game. Those 3 rooms in Nakta and Toten were the beginning of something that nobody could have ever predicted. Naturally, the community wanted more, and with each DLC, we saw a new map released for the game, maps growing in size and detail. Players wanted the games to last longer, and the Zombies team just kept on delivering. Perks, traps, wonder weapons, pack-a-punch, unique features to the game that instantly became staples of the formula. At the end of World at War, when we got DLC 4, we got the map Der Reese. The Reese was a map so groundbreaking that it solidified the future for the game mode. What this map did for the game was a pivotal turning point, and hidden underneath all of this were secrets to be found that still remain hidden to this day. After this game, we saw 4 more installments of Treyarch Zombies in each of the Black Ops games. If World at War is a game of love, then Black Ops 1 was a game of innovation. Zombies in Black Ops 1 made a statement. It let us know that Zombies was a game mode that was here to stay. It broke boundaries, and it paved the path for the future of the game mode. It gave the game a backbone, even from the launch maps. Players today still have many fond memories of playing Kino de Toten, but when the DLC season started, with Ascension and the introduction of step-by-step Easter eggs, the game took an entirely new turn. The story cemented itself, and many people started noticing that there was more to this bonus game mode than just the core gameplay. However, we were still getting great content like wonder weapons like the Thunder Gun and perks like PhD Flopper. The game did not stop innovating, and we as consumers were blown away by the creativity and unique charm that you wouldn't find anywhere else. This game took us to so many locations. I haven't got enough time to talk about each individual map because there is so much to cover, maybe for another video. But everything took us by surprise. An amazing community started to form. Millions of YouTube videos talking about the story, showing Easter egg guides, high round strategies, map predictions were being uploaded. And by the end of the Black Ops 1 cycle, after we blew up the Earth in the final DLC Moon, we could only wait until Black Ops 2. A game of choice. Now I call Black Ops 2 the game of choice because everything in this game has 2 sides. The first choice being whether you actually like the game or not. The community had a bit of a divide during this game. The game launched with the map Transit, and while some loved playing this map, a lot of the community really disliked it, and this carried over for the first DLC Die Rise, the least popular Zombies map to date. Then finally, with DLC 3, the map Buried came around and restored some of our faith in the game. The players were definitely divided. However, it was at this point that Jason Blundell became the director and completely turned everything around. Mob of the Dead was released and completely blew us away, as we were used to with Zombies. But this map is still a fan favourite, and it was groundbreaking. After this, we ended the Black Ops 2 cycle with Origins, the beginning of our new Primus storyline. I found that Black Ops 2 Zombies was really unique in terms of choice. Every Easter egg other than Origins had 2 sides to it. I won't go into the story, but it was interesting because this hasn't been a feature since. Now, I could make an entire video talking about every single map from Mob of the Dead onwards. The maps were stuffed full of story, and the complexity gave the players something we didn't even know we wanted. Origins was the first map to have a full Easter egg with an ending cutscene, and since then, we barely see maps without them. It's hard to sum up in words how drastically this changed zombies. It was the exact evolution that the game needed to continue. Now, Black Ops 3 was the prime time for zombies fans. Black Ops 3 to me was the game of revolution. Zombies took to a new generation of gaming with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. This game was so well received that after the DLC season ended, they even gave us 8 fully remastered maps as a part of the Zombies Chronicles DLC. And this is why there is such a love for this game mode. They didn't just make this DLC to get some more money. They did it because we kept showing the game support long after the DLC season ended, and they wanted to say thank you. Much like the beginning of this game mode, this DLC was created out of love. The painstaking amount of hours that went into this just to make us happy in a game that was already good enough. Again, there's too much to cover to go into more detail in this video, but this game is still being played today by thousands, and I know I personally will never forget the memories I have on this game, more so than any of the previous titles. And finally, we have Black Ops 4, a game of change. For a game to continue being popular, it has to adapt, and this game was the furthest we had strayed from the original formula. The original perks were mostly gone, a new storyline had begun, and our Aether storyline had come to an end. The game was surrounded by controversy. Many people didn't like the changes they made for this game, and many were unhappy with the maps. We had 4 maps on launch, 2 for each storyline, and the DLC season was split up the same way. We still got 4 Aether maps, but if you're like myself, you can't not think about the fact that we could have had 8 Aether maps, leading up to a massive conclusion to the story. But that's not how things went. All 4 of the Aether maps were reimagined versions of old maps rather than new content. Unfortunately, this game never got a Zombie Chronicles style DLC, and whilst it is sad, I personally don't blame the Zombies team one bit. They couldn't even fully animate the cutscenes properly due to time crunches. DLC was rushed to keep up with the Battle Royale multiplayer mode, and regarding the story, it had to end at some point, and I personally find the ending to be very poetic and touching. However, I do understand people's criticisms. Let me know what you think in the comments. The greatest aspect of Zombies to me is the story, and the best part is, that doesn't even really affect the core gameplay. You could play every single map of Zombies, not have a clue what's going on with the story, and still enjoy yourself. But the hardcore fans who wanted to delve deep into the lore had so much to explore. The story brings this unique blend of history and fiction. I'm a firm believer in the idea that the best writing comes from when the writer creates a world that we only experience one part of. Look at the likes of Tolkien with Lord of the Rings, or J.K. Rowling with the Harry Potter franchise. These writers created an entire world full of creatures and magic, and the stories we watch or read or hear are only small parts of the overall universe that it all takes part in. Zombies feels the exact same. Now, the storyline has been scrutinised for overcomplicating things, and turning a contained story into an expansive narrative of multiverses and ancient races from the beginning of time. However, I personally stand by these creative choices to keep the story going. After Blundell directed Mob of the Dead, the entire story was fleshed out, and every map we played felt like another piece of the puzzle, which is something I love much more than I probably should. Craig Houston and the rest of the writers that worked on the zombie story and characters deserve so much praise, and the voice actors couldn't be replaced by anyone. Watching the characters go from arcade-style stereotypes to fully fledged characters with so much depth and heart behind them is amazing, and the care that the voice actors have for their characters is really heartwarming. Now, I've linked the video in the description of the 4 voice actors talking about their characters along the entire journey, and it's definitely worth checking out. It's like Craig wrote the entire story of Zombies, and then decided to cut half of it out. One half became the maps that we play, and then they drip fed us the rest through every single possible detail. And throughout the years, Watching the community pulling their hair out looking like Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia was a lot of fun. So many theories and predictions and story explain videos. The storyline is so complex that it makes films like Inception look like an episode of a Disney Channel show. Snippets of the story hidden behind every single little detail. And it gives your brain so much satisfaction when you can put the pieces together and understand it all. Something that not many stories have ever done for me, and for many others. This is a story that challenges you and rewards you with more details the further you look. You can't answer a question without running into two more. And the community love talking and debating and working together, trying to find all the answers that the brain wants. We as humans like completion. We do puzzles like crosswords and word searches that tease our brain and give us satisfaction when we finish them. And I propose the idea that the storyline for this game is one of the most enjoyable puzzles to try and crack to this day. The community for zombies is something most games can only dream of creating. Well, that's the thing actually. You can't create the community. The community has to come from a love for the game. One thing that's really impressive about this community is how much everyone works together. Go on YouTube and search Call of Duty Zombies Guide. Thousands of videos. And then click on any one of those videos and look at the comments. Hundreds of comments of people giving helpful tips, looking for people to play with. And you'll find the exact same thing on forum sites like Reddit. The community really works together. As soon as a new map is released, the community will all be jumping on, tearing it to shreds to find every last secret. The air of excitement in the community leading up to a new map is great to be a part of. Watching someone live stream the countdown and seeing the hype around new content, it's something that most people won't ever be a part of. And the community is full of geniuses, theorists and people solving ciphers that professionals couldn't crack. One of the greatest things about zombies for me is that it caters for everyone. The game for me has never felt like it's only for the big YouTubers or only for the top tier of players. While some other competitive games suffer from these kinds of issues, like Overwatch for example, where buffs and nerfs tend to cater for the higher leagues of play, Call of Duty Zombies is for anyone. Now there are maps that are tougher than others, and there are maps that are easier than others, but there is always something for everyone. I've never felt like the game wasn't for me. I've never felt like I'm not as valuable as a member of the community than say Noah J456 or Mr. Dalek JD. Whether you enjoy watching others play it and have never even touched the game, or you have played every single map on release and know them better than you know your family's birthdays, like me, you can still enjoy the game. If you are a fan of zombies, then you most likely already know what the community is like, and whilst it does divide and disagree at times, there's nothing quite like jumping on a game of zombies with your friends. Called it. Wait.
Shock.
Called it.
Shock. That's 1, 2,
3.
Done it! He's getting beamed.
We've done it!
Oh, fuck.
If you want to know more about the game mode, check out some of the videos I have linked in the description. Tim Hansen has done very detailed reviews on most of the maps, and Mr. Waffles has done many story breakdowns. I'll also link some of my favourite moments in the community throughout the years. Let me know in the comments if you want more videos on analysing Call of Duty Zombies content. Trust me, this video barely scratched the surface, and I would love to go in depth on the maps myself. So definitely let me know if you want to see more content like this. I also have videos planned to talk about other games that really deserve some recognition and appreciation. Thank you so much for watching. This video took a long time to do and I probably should be doing uni work instead, so if you could show me some support I would really appreciate it. And just before we go, every time you load up a game of zombies, think about all of the memories you have with your friends, having fun, beating Easter eggs together, the amount of entertainment this game has given us. And then think about the people that brought you that. The amount of hours they put in for the timeless enjoyment that they gave us. And just think in your head, thank you.
We're all telling tales and we're all songs, drinking our drinks from midnight till dawn.
I was trying to say something there.